Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks, and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path. We are continuing on in the third case of the game, The Inherited Turnabout. Alright, April 2nd, 2:10 p.m., Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. We're back in the future. Present. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? In the end, Von Karma defeated us. Huh? So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year, until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day, when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. My mommy's birthday. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December. 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. There's the music. Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. A whole year, yeah. No! Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah. That was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. Damn. When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. That's crazy. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Although you still should have been able to, go down there and actually physically look for the body, you know? It's just insane. Then, they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. An accomplice? To who? Then who killed the... What the frick? With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bud about? Yeah, that trump card was to be our insurance in case Mr. Master confessed. He had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded, which it should have been anyway. I know that this was back in the day and maybe they didn't have that as, a rule. But nowadays, I'm pretty sure you have to for, the safety and all of that for legality purposes to make sure nothing illegal is going on during those interrogations, you know? Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Aww. Even when he was involved with other larger cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. There's Gregory. The defense presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all of the blame and was charged and dismissed, so Von Karma got away with it, see? Ugh. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. Yeah, and that's what drove him crazy. He's like, no, my perfection is tarnished. Ah, you know? A-hole. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. However, I mean, it's kind of annoying that all he got was a penalty. That's like getting a slap on the wrist compared to getting fired or put in jail, you know? It's insane. It really is. Thank goodness that Phoenix got him in the end, you know? However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer, and the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. That's ridiculous. Even with them proving that his confession was forced and them really not having proof of the body. Ugh, makes me so mad. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there, watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. And that's what I love so much about this game, and especially about this case. We are finally getting to see Miles Edgeworth being able to get some closure on his dad's case and on his, you know, history and his murder and all of that. We got some by getting, you know, Von Karma put in jail, but this is what we need right now, is for him to finish what his father started. It's so good. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. I don't know. If you had been there, would it have changed anything? You also would have been trapped in the elevator. You also would have gone through that horrifying experience with, you know, oxygen deprivation. And maybe you also would have passed out. And there's nothing you could have done to stop, you know, him from shooting him from the outside or whatever. Because the doors opened and he saw them and shot him. I mean, the only thing different might have been that maybe he would have been able to stop the argument so that Miles didn't pick up the gun. I don't know. There's just a lot that's like, we don't know. But I have a feeling the end result might have still been really bad. And what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you, as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. What pisses me off about that, I'm glad Ray realizes it. Frickin' Miles was a kid who just went through a horrible loss. He had no choice in being dumped into Von Karma's lap like that. This is what Von Karma arranged. This is what he wanted. It's not like Miles was like, oh yeah, let me go be with the guy who was like the mortal enemy of my dad. So it's pretty stupid of Ray. I'm glad he acknowledges that. He should have just focused all his hatred on Von Karma, and then once Ray got old enough, because I know he was young too, he was like a young teenager or whatever, he should have tried to rescue Miles from him. He should have been like, yo, I know you don't have any other relatives, but I'm old enough now that I can take you in. I was your dad's assistant. It makes more sense for you to be with me than with this random enemy prosecutor. Like, I just don't understand how nobody else could have taken Miles Edgeworth in. It just boggles my mind. You know? Makes me really, really sad and mad. I'm sorry. Aww. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. Huh? That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? Which even that is confusing. How could he be found as an accomplice? Who are they believing killed Master? Dover then? And what's the motive of him being an accomplice then? It's just crazy. But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved and the case is handled by Manfred Von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. Whoa. Look at this. Okay, suspect data. Jeffrey Master 39, creator of the dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hyperphagia and he was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. The charge is accomplice to murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out after all. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations has long expired, but the truth still sleeps right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case, perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty.
No! Is there nothing we can do even now?
Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him.
Ah.
If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. Of course.
That's terrible.
I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? Oh yeah.
Ah, I see.
You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow, she went. Every single day, without fail.
Aw.
But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment.
That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do?
That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you going to do, Miles? I am a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father, Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Ones that you actually didn't eat, okay. Thank you. And now here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Right. I'll check through it later.
Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case.
Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. The victim of the poison gas was Dame Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago.
Right, let's get started.
Oh no. Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Ugh, of course we wish we could forget about you. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report.
What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before.
I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out.
In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. I know so much more than you do. Get it? Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Really? Then tell us. Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is... Oh, he should be here. Isaac Dover. Jeff Master is 57. Aw, you poor man. It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover.
Eh? It's Icy's body?
Hey, who's that? I never heard of him.
Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations.
Ah, so in other words, that sculpture was the best. Somehow, I feel a strong kinship to him. Shut up.
And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident.
She knows. She knew about the IS-7 incident.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body.
That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth.
What are you saying?
The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Go ahead.
Get your verification.
Hello? Really?
Is something wrong, Sebastian?
No, it's just... They said that they know who the victim is. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover.
No, it can't be. Yes, your precious prosecution is not always perfect.
She's like, oh, the goddess of law. Oh, how could they? Oh.
It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. At last, your daddy
Can rest in peace once this is over. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Hey, you! Are you trying to steal DeBest's position for yourself? I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no?
The truth is none of your concern.
Objection!
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie.
You again.
Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now that the body has been discovered here... In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Ooh, get her. Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident. So it would seem she really is here because of the PIC.
Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. Are you playing dumb? Which? How is it that you claim to know about the IS-7 incident and you're pretending to not know that his father was the defense attorney? Come on now.
Hold it! He is the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on.
Very well. I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you.
That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I will allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray.
Ray, why? Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave.
Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Alright, Uncle Ray's going to investigate too, so let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Right then. Okay, let's begin the investigation.
Okay, let's do this.
We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were heading.
We don't have enough information to go on.
You're right. Our first priority is the Normalium.
Well, Normalium is used in washing detergents, paints, and the like.
If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. Okay.
Well then, let's get looking for that Normalium.
Alright, but we will be doing that in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye!